Guys, it's Wednesday, and welcome to CNA Films and Animation, Animation Corner. What are we reviewing this week, Corey?
Well, this week we are reviewing Transformers the movie, the 1986 animated film, not the Michael Bay Trash Fest.
Yes. What it's about. This movie takes place towards the end of the series after it. I can't really say I've not followed the 80s series, the original series, which I should have. It's out there. I was going into this blind. I thought this was the either a movie in the middle or a movie at the beginning that started off or something. I kind of heard that, but it's not. This film is pretty much the end of that series, would you say?
If you say so, you would know more than I would. I mean...
Okay, the movie takes place, let's see, the Decepticons have complete control over Cybertron. Autobots are kind of on the fringe, and they have decided to make a last-ditch effort to drive back the Decepticons. Megatron has his own plans. He wants to attack the Autobot secret base so they don't have any backup. While all this is going on, the giant robot Unicron is making his way towards the Cybertronian world. That's the basic plot. There's a lot in there. I don't want to be too spoilerish, but this movie has been around for a long time.
Almost 30 years now.
Yes. Let's see, animation from the 80s, it looks pretty good. We said this about The Land Before Time, the original, for 80s. It was really good. This is, for the animation, really good. I did notice that the Transformers transformations were different than the series of what I've seen. They were more crisp. They actually would move. In the series, they kind of just folded. There was nothing wrong with the series that I've seen, but I never got into it. Let's see. As a fan of the series, of Transformers in general, I liked it. It was, I want to say, a little darker than I figured it would be from being the 80s. Several characters I didn't think would do. I'll say that later in spoilers. But generally, I liked the movie. What did you think, Corey? As a person who's not really following much of this Transformers at all, seeing it with new eyes, what did you think?
Well, let me first give you a little background of what I have seen Transformers-wise. Mm-hmm. Never watched any of the TV series, old or new. I've seen the Michael Bay movies, which, you know, the first one I thought was okay. Second one I barely remember, and the third one I completely hated. And so I came into this not really, I knew what to expect, but I'd never followed the series, so I wasn't really, I felt like a fish out of water, basically. And so most of the film I was more confused than anything else. I think I asked him more questions about the entire film and folklore and all that than I probably should have. But I mean, for the most part, for someone who has never seen the series, it is one that I would say, if you haven't seen the original series or any Transformers series, just the Michael Bay movies, I would say that this is probably not the best film to jump into. Watch some of the TV series beforehand and then jump into it. So that way you get a better basis of what to expect. I'm not saying that it's a bad film or at all. It was actually pretty good. It was one that I was more confused with.
I can see it. I've grown up with Transformers, starting with Beast Wars in the early 90s. And up through all the variations. I'm still watching it with Transformers Prime. I enjoy that show too. A lot of it I was confused, but I had enough background that I'm like, okay. It was funny when you asked me, yeah, they're the good guys, right? No, those are the Decepticons. They just killed everybody. Oh. Okay. That was great. No, I'm giving you shit. As a fan of the series, I'd probably give the movie a 7.5. It had some interest. It was good. Don't get me wrong. It just, I was out of the loop enough. To die-hard fans, they'd probably give it much higher. But as honest as I can get, I probably, as I said, 7.5. What would you give it for?
Well, before I give you my rating, I did want to say one more thing. I did think that there were a couple of really neat designs in the film. Mainly they were like shark, fish and shark robots, Transformers, whatever they are.
Yeah, I don't know what the sharks. Yeah, those were.
They had a neat design. I thought some of it had some neat designs and everything. So going into my rating, I did think that there were some really neat elements. Mm-hmm. But for someone who's never seen the series, it was just a very confusing film. So I'm going to, as fairly as I can, I'm going to say that I would give Transformers the movie a 6.2 out of 10.
6.2. Alright. Getting into, I guess, some spoilers here. Let's see. I did not see coming the death of Optimus Prime. It's relatively early in the movie. I didn't see it coming at all. They do the whole face-off between Optimus Prime and Megatron. And usually it ends up with, as I said, the face-off Optimus Prime, Megatron. They've done it in every series. It usually ends up with them hurting each other, and then Megatron may get the upper hand, or Optimus Prime may get the upper hand, and like they get backup. Well, it almost happens that way, and this Autobot named Hot Rod jumps in there, and Optimus Prime has to hold his fire because Megatron has Hot Rod, and then Megatron shoots him in the stomach, and then Optimus Prime actually dies. And it isn't just like, oh, I'm dead. It's actually a slow process. He dies on an operating table. I didn't see it coming at all. Let's see. Ironhide dies early. That one was a surprise to me as well. Let's see. Megatron is called by Unicron to be Unicron's lackey, and he forces Megatron, and Unicron turns Megatron into Galvatron. I'd heard of Galvatron, but I never knew he was Megatron, which that was a little weird. I guess he just instead of upgrading Megatron, he completely makes him anew. I don't know, it's weird. And after, let's see, after Megatron is gone and becomes Galvatron, Starscream, being Starscream, tries to take over as the leader of the Decepticons, and Megatron comes back, storming like, you won't get my crown, that sort of thing. Yet again, it's happened. Usually they have a short fight where Megatron easily wins. This one, no, he just transforms into a freaking turret and blows Starscream to hell. Literally, he explodes. Let's see, the deaths were interesting. Actual deaths, they're not like, oh, it's...
With the exception of the one.
of the one.
That blew up into pieces and was not dead.
Oh, Ultra Magnus. Yeah, that was crap. But quite before that, it showed several of them. They get shot and they hold the area, and then you can see like the life force drain out of them. Their eyes just go real dull, and then they lose all their color. I don't know. That's a little odd, but the fact that they lose the spark in their eyes and whatnot, it's neat. As Corey mentioned, Ultra Magnus dies, but instead of being dead, they put him back together and he's perfectly fine. I know at least one problem you had with the movie was the junk bots. They land on this planet and it's nothing but junk, and there's this, I guess, race of Transformers there, and they talk infomercial.
Oh yeah.
They talk it really fast. Infomercials from the 80s.
Mentioning really fast. What's that one Transformer?
Oh, Blur. Blur. Yeah, that was great. They have his whole thing. He's fast. They have everything's fast. His movement, his talking. There's an interaction between him and the Dinobots, and he's trying to get them on a ship, and he's like, "Oh, how was it?" He's like, "Move, Dinobots! Come on, come on! I can't get in the move. Come on, come on!" It's just so fast. That's not anywhere close, but it's sped up. It's weird. It's kind of fun. Is there any parts you had problems with, Corey? Besides the infomercial dude?
Well, the only problem I had with the infomercial robot thing was that I just could not understand a single word he was saying. And that goes the same with Blur. You know, if you're going to make a character and give him a voice and everything, I want to at least understand at least half of what they're saying. Both of those characters, I could not understand a single word they said, for the most part. I mean, it's just too fast for my ears, I guess. So, I mean, I felt like it was unnecessary to have him that fast. I mean, with Blur, I guess that's his character trait, but
yeah,
with the infomercial guy, it just was very random.
Yeah, let's see. One problem I kind of had with... two more problems, I'm sorry. One was the music score. Songs were a little just odd and out of place, and I think they played one song, I swear, 4 times. It sounds like the same song. It may be just the same guitar drift. I don't know.
And I think that song was actually featured in the movie Boogie Nights, which was like a cover that Mark Wahlberg did, singing very badly. I can't remember the name of the song, but I found it funny just because I recognized it from Boogie Nights. But
the character I mentioned earlier, Hot Rod, he becomes, I guess, the next Optimus. He's not the next Optimus, but he kind of takes over that spot. He gets this thing called the Matrix, which is
it's just like a giant orb that he puts in his chest.
It's kind of gives them hope and to the Autobots and whatnot. Throughout it, he transforms into a car, but when he gets the Matrix, he transforms to a car with a great big semi-trailer on it.
Oh, was that him?
Yeah, that was him at the end.
Okay.
So I guess that's where Optimus's trailer came from. I don't know. It looks nearly the same, but a different color. I didn't understand why he changed from a car to whatever that is supposed to be. It was weird to me. But otherwise it was an alright film. Have you seen the series? Have you seen this movie? If tell us in the comments if you liked the commentary, liked the show. Put in the comments. If you have a recommendation you want me to review, put it in the comments. We'll try to get back as soon as we can on it.
By the way, I wanted to mention that the votes have been in, the tallies have been looked at and everything's been tallied, and the video for Friday, for now on DVD, the winner is 7 Psychopaths. So I will be reviewing 7 Psychopaths this week.
Alright, sounds fun. If you liked the video, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We want to hear from you. Happy Wednesday!